What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Here's a retro review. I know y'all thought I left y'all hanging. I was churning out those Noah's Ark reviews, one right after the other, and then I just sort of stopped. Well, I stopped because I got to the end, and I didn't want it to end. I was on the last episode of season 2, which you guys know this show was over way too soon. We only got 2 episodes, and so I got to that last episode, and I watched it. And I just didn't do the review. And so I'm here to do the review. I'm looking for Jumping the Broom. Somebody told me it's on YouTube. But I would rather... I really don't want to watch it on YouTube because it's probably free on YouTube. I really want to give the coin. Then again, anyway, that's another conversation. I'm going to review Jumping the Broom as soon as I find it. The other thing I want to say, y'all, is as I'm sitting here looking, I remember... This episode made me so mad. At the time, of course, we didn't know that was going to be the end of the show. At least I didn't know that was going to be the end of the show. And I was so mad at Noah because I was like, Noah, why you can't just be happy? Because we left off... Okay, let me just go and get started, y'all. We left off last episode with Noah and Wade having a moment. And remember, I was talking about how sweet it was and how the boyfriend knew it was over. And Wade and Noah had this wonderful moment where everything was love and it was all peaches and roses. So we get to this episode, and that morning they woke up, and I guess Noah went home. I guess Wade went home. Noah went back to doing what he was doing, and Noah's with Quincy, and Wade is with Trey. And it's Black Pride weekend, and so they're getting ready for all the things that happen at Black Pride, honey. Alex is putting together a calendar to raise money for the clinic, and of course he got Trey as every month. Trey just every month. He was like, I don't need to do a cattle call. I don't need to find no other members. That's it. Trey. So Trey was the Cupid. He was Uncle Sam. And of course, Alex was like, they're gonna eat it up, and I can't wait. So Noah can't get over the night with Wade. He keeps saying it. He can't be happy with Quincy. And I'm like, you got a man that loves you. You love him. Okay, Wade was the one that got away. But he with somebody. You with somebody. Y'all had a moment. Boom, right? Of course, Noah can't let it go, honey. So Noah finds out. Quincy ends up calling. Excuse me. Let me get my names. Trey ends up calling Quincy and lets Quincy know that he's going to propose to Wade that weekend. And of course, that sets... that just totally sets Noah off because in Noah's mind, it was like, we go together. We slept together, we go together. And Wade was like, in Wade's mind, it happened. It was a one-night stand. I think in his mind, he thought he was I think he meant everything he said in that moment, but then he woke up the next day, he was more mad at himself than he was at Noah. Because the same thing that you were mad at Noah about is what you just did. You couldn't forgive Noah. You couldn't get past Noah's infidelity. And you just did the exact same thing to Drake with Noah. And you knew how much that was going to hurt Drake if he ever found out. And it made you do what you were totally against doing as well. And Noah tries to talk to Wade. And Wade tells him, basically, leave me alone. Like, it happened. It was what it was. Move on. Like, it was it. That was it. It's a wrap. So... we see a ball, honey, and it's funny because I didn't know what a ball was when I saw this episode. I never heard of a ball. I never seen a ball. I didn't know what a ball. Didn't know what ballroom dancing was. None of that. So when I saw this scene, like with my 2020 eyes, I can only imagine when I saw it the first time. I probably just thought that they were just all dancing. Like I didn't even understand what I was looking at. I so love my evolution. Anyway, so. Wade and Trey are walking. I guess they're doing like a couples thing where Wade and Trey are walking, and then Quincy and Noah are walking. Okay, we're gonna get back to that because we're at the. I moved ahead. Now we have Ricky and Genito. Now Ricky and Genito had this open relationship, and basically Genito was like, "Listen, I know that Ricky ain't never gonna be a one-man kind of dude. Like, I just know who he is. I accept who he is. I love him." So he agreed to an open relationship. I don't think it's because that's what he wanted. I think it's because he understood that's the only way he would have Ricky, you know? But he wasn't interested in seeing anybody else. Now, Ricky was doing his own thing. And because of his own guilt, Ricky was guilty. The fact that he was sleeping around with all these different people, he was guilty. Or feeling guilty, I should say, because he wasn't guilty. They had an open relationship. But feeling guilty because he was sleeping with all these other people. He tried to set Genito up with somebody. And, you know, Genito's thing was, listen, I didn't sleep with somebody. I mean, me not sleeping with somebody else, it wasn't due to lack of options. It was due to lack of interest. And if I meet somebody and I want to sleep with them, then I'll sleep with them. But I haven't met anybody that I was interested in sleeping with, so I didn't. And so, he sets him up, and Genito actually does like the guy, but when he doesn't sleep with him, Ricky was like, "So what's the deal? Like, why you ain't take him home?" And Genito was like, "Just because I like him and we had a good conversation doesn't mean that I want to be with him. Like that's not." So they have that whole thing going on. So now we back at the ball. And Noah keeps making eyes at Wade. Wade keeps giving Noah the stank face. Quincy is seeing what's going on. He trying to pretend like he don't see it, but he see it. And Noah ends up breaking up with... Noah, you break up with people at the most inopportune times. You broke up with the other dude with... what was his name? Raheem. What was the boy's name? Y'all gonna tell me in the comments. You broke up with him while he was trying to have an anniversary moment. You could have waited to the next day. You ain't had to interrupt his whole anniversary moment where he had the cake and had you out and the overlook and doing all of that. Then you want to break up with Quincy while y'all get ready to go out here and walk for this ball. Now, mind you, both of y'all did it. Y'all was professional. Y'all did the whole thing. But Wade talking about, y'all know I'm getting these names. Noah was like, "I'm sorry, Quincy. I'm sorry." And Quincy was like, "Whatever. You know how to make men fall in love with you. And you do, Noah." I'm going to have to agree with El Teddy because El Teddy said that. He said Noah had the baddest, and he did. Noah, you had some bangers, okay? You had some bangers. But he wanted Wade. What they say, the heart wants what it wants, honey. He wanted Wade, and that was, listen, the heart wants what the heart wants. So the next day, we're at the beach day. You know, they're all down. They're all at the beach. And what's my boy? Chance is talking about, he remembers that that's how he met his husband. He met him at Black Pride weekend at the beach, and he had on this little thong, you know, this barely there outfit and everything. And you know, he was like, "Well, you know, let me get this thong. Let me try to relive some things. Let me get that sexiness back in our, you know, relationship." So he buys a little thong. He's going to give him a little something, something. Give Eddie a little something, something. And Alex and all of them are sitting around. And of course, Noah ain't telling them what's going on because Noah already, he ain't trying to hear what they got to say because he know that half of them really don't see it for Wade. And even if they do see it for Wade, they understand that Wade got a man and they really don't see it for Wade. So he already ain't really trying to tell them what's really good and what's really going on. So Trey had told Alex, because they about tried to tear Alex's Trey's clothes off. So he told Alex, "Yeah, we're not going. I'm done. I'm not going back out there. I'm not going to the beach tomorrow. Our Black Pride weekend is a wrap. We done." So they volunteered to babysit Kenya, or Egypt, Morocco, as Alex would call her, for Chance and Eddie, so they could go, they could go have themselves a nice little moment. So they have themselves a whole little thought romantic. Chance drops his shorts and he got on the little Speedos, because they weren't really thongs, they was more like Speedos. Drops the little Speedos, and they go and have sex in the car and everything. They have a moment. Like, they definitely enjoy their girl free moment. I mean, their daughter free moment, child. Now, Ricky is there, and Ricky's looking for Genito. He rolls up on Genito, and he sees Genito talking to the dude that he hooked him up with. And not only did he talk to the dude he hooked him up with, They kiss. So now Ricky is in his feelings because, of course, what's good for the goose ain't good for the gander, honey. Yeah, I know Ricky was always all, on that, what one do, you can do it, but I can't do it kind of thing, or I can do it, but you can't do it. Y'all know what I'm saying. So, Ricky's in his feelings. So Genito finds Ricky, and Genito was like, what's always dangerous about this whole open relationship situation is that at some point in time, you might find somebody that you connect with more than the person you already with. And of course, Ricky was like, so that's what you're saying? Like, you want to be with dude? And Genito was like, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. So they end up breaking up. And of course, in true Ricky fashion, he gets mean, he gets nasty, and he acts like, Genito is a weight on his shoulders or whatever. And he's real nasty to Genito. But Genito understands Ricky to know that was hurt, that was coming out that way. He understands. He understands. Then we see Wade and Dre talking, and Noah's sitting there looking at Wade. And Wade, he motions to Noah to meet him in the bathroom. So Noah goes in the bathroom. And so they get into the bathroom. And Noah was like, that meant nothing to you. And Wade was like, no, like, it doesn't. He was like, but you told me you love me. He was like, I do love you, but I don't trust you. He was like, and I feel bad because I did what, I cheated on my boyfriend. Like, go back to Quincy. I'm going to go with Dre. It happened. It was what it was. And he was like, but he's getting ready to ask you to marry him. And Wade, of course, didn't know it. And I was like, no, that's real messed up. You ain't have to do that. You ain't have to ruin the surprise like that, girl. But Wade was like, all right, it's whatever. Like, that's my relationship. Let me go handle my business. So Noah was like, look me in my eyes and tell me that you don't feel the way that I feel. Like, tell me you don't love me. Look me in my eyes and tell me you don't love me. And so Wade started to do it, but of course he wasn't looking at Noah. Noah was like, look me in my eyes and tell me you don't love me. So then he does look him in his eyes, and then next thing you know, they having sex in the bathroom, child. So I kept waiting for Dre to walk in, but Dre ain't walk in then. Dre walked in on the other side and was like, Dre walked in on the other side and was like, well, he overheard Noah talking about how they had just had sex. And talking about how could you do this to me? How you just gonna have sex with me and then walk away from me? You told me you loved me. And when Wade saw Dre was upset, crying, and he was ready to leave. They jumped in the car. Remember, Dre got that little convertible, and they sped off, even though it really wasn't a good idea for Dre to be driving because he was upset, he was crying, But Wade tried to tell him, look, and maybe we shouldn't drive right now. And he was like, if you ever love me, you'll get in the car right now. So, of course, Wade got in the car with him. While all this was going on, the fellas overheard that whole situation. And so, of course, they looking at Noah like, what? Really? Like, what? Y'all slept together. And he admitted that they slept together the night that Wade stayed with him when he got out of jail and all of that. So, of course, they all got, y'all know how they are. They all had their opinion, honey. Now, before this happened, back at Alex's house, Alex and Trey was having so much fun babysitting Kenya. They decided that this was the right time for them to try to start their own family. So Alex ran down there to tell the guys that they were ready to start a family. So that's why Alex was there. So they were all there. They were all riding back, and they're riding back, and they end up coming up on a crash. And when they realized that it was Dre's car, Wade was thrown from the car, but Dre was actually under the car. And that's how the damn episode ended. That's how the season ended. That's how the series ended. We ain't never know until Jump in the Broom. We ain't never know whatever happened. I was so mad. I was so mad when it didn't come back. Y'all know what I'm saying? Anyway, y'all, that's what it was. Let me know what y'all think. That is Noah's Ark, Season 1 and Season 2. Thank you.